Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, and we are at the midweek review. Um, all right, taking a look at price action on the ES and the NQ. I put out my video on Sunday showing you the new updated weekly levels, some tradable levels, and hopefully, if you guys watched that video, what I'm going to explain to you, what's kind of been happening in the markets, might make a little bit more sense. So let's get into that right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. All right, so starting off on the ES. This was our Sunday open. If you guys remember on my video with my weekly update that I put out every Sunday, which I give you guys the new weekly bands, some tradable levels that I'm looking out for where you've got a pretty good high certainty of reaction. If you go back to that video, you'll remember that I stated that there's always a big possibility that we get some pretty big gaps at the open. So if you guys look, we actually gapped right over the tradable level, smack right into the band that I had put out, literally right to the top of the band, from that 57.69 down to the 57.23. From there, I think it was the next, or actually Monday, we had a really big push, and then it's just kind of been really rangy, extremely rangy markets for Tuesday and today. Really tough stuff to trade, in my opinion. Had a, I want to call it like a mini signal here that I put out today, which it's been about 4 days since I've been able to put out a signal, which, I'm going to go over in the video as to why that is. And I took a loss today, so it was, I think I was targeting about 11 points. We got the bounce. I think we got maybe 7.5 points on that trade, and then reversed on me and took an L on that trade, which kind of sucks because, again, I've been kind of sitting on the sidelines, just looking at price action, really trying to find some super high quality A++ setups, and found a smaller volume pocket that I'm really trying to trade. But it was a smaller target. It was only 11 and I think it was like 11 and a half points, which is what I was looking for, and didn't get it. But the reason I even created a video that explained the reason for the lack of some super high quality setups. If you've been trading in these markets the last 3 or 4 days, you're probably going to say the same thing. Unless you've got a really great range bound strategy, really tight ranges, then you could probably do okay. But otherwise, this stuff, you'll get chopped up and eaten up really quickly in this market. And the reason for the lack of setups is a perfect example. I gave you guys a tradable level at 5,700. What did price action do? Completely gapped over that tradable level. And then we had this huge move up, and this is one 1 hour candle, and it left all of this just voidness in the volume profile. And this is roughly 200 points of, well, if we come all the way from here all the way down to where we gapped from, you're looking at a pretty damn big move on the ES. And this very low area of volume that was left, so all this move was done on very low volume, and that to me is difficult because I'm looking at volume to find my setups. So I need this to I need this to grow to show me small clues in the marketplace as to where we're going to get a decent reaction from, and and kind of formulate my setups based on that. So now we're starting to develop volume. Obviously, all day we've been pretty much sitting. Let's see if I can. Today we pretty much sat all day there. Yesterday we pretty much sat all day there. I should have put that box there because now it's gonna mess up this my other box over here. But either way, you could see the where price action has pretty much just been camping out. In fact, this is a new weekly band that I created because this part here was obviously so strong. That's the 58.65 down to the 58.19. And above us, we've got another weekly band that I added from the 61.94 to the 61.54. Now this area, you got to go back left on your chart over 2 months, in past price action just to get some data over here. But this is definitely an area where we're going to see some rejection in the marketplace if we can get up there. And then this is an area, obviously, that we probably are going to tap back into. But what I'm really looking at is this area right here, the 57.69 to the 57.23. This tradable level here at 5,700, I think, is still going to be in play. We probably have a really good chance of getting down to this meat of, or I should say this area of the marketplace, right around that 5,700. It's where really all the volume and the price action is at, and we could slice and dice through this pretty quickly. Now the market obviously can just continue ripping to the upside, where the next real big speed bump is going to be that 61.54 up to the 61.94. And on the NQ, pretty much same story. So this was the Sunday right before I put out my video, or right after I put out my video, and we gapped right over this tradable level at 22.31. We tapped into, I'm going to make this a little bigger, right to the end of this band. I mean, that 1 hour candle, that's exactly where it stopped. The 24.75 down to the 24.12. We got the rejection off of the tradable level at the 24.49. But what happened then was we got another big explosion to the upside right here. So you've got this big pocket here that is sitting about 500 to 600 points in the NQ right here, that there's no volume. There's no volume showing up whatsoever. And that's difficult to trade. So those are the kind of clues that I'm looking at. And I put out a video. I'm like, listen, I'm looking for super high quality setups. I'm not looking to hit the buy and sell button, just to hit the buy and sell button. I get it that we all want to get into trades. I even said it. With my win rate, I know that I've got a very high probability of making money when I hit that buy or sell button. But again, it's got to be super high quality. And with the lack of volume that we see in these 700-point gaps, it becomes a little bit more difficult. Now, what am I looking for? Hopefully we can get price action to come back down. Start making this volume profile expand out to the right. In my case, it's sitting on the left-hand side of the chart. I'd like to see some of this volume start getting filled in, and we will then start to get some tradable setups. I added this weekly band at this 21.051 down to the 29.72. This is an area where we're probably going to see a rejection if we go to the downside. And right above us, I added another weekly band at the 21.585 to the 21.523. Definitely an area to look out for. Older price action, so obviously we're now scrolling way off to the left to find some data, and to find some clues as to where the market might want to find some resistance. So those are the updated weekly bands. The tradable levels from Sunday are still intact, but again, we're going to need to have price action, have some movement to get down to those levels. And then I think the trade I took this morning had a long at a signal that I put out for 21,338, target of 21,350, and tapped into the entry. Went about 7.5 points. I actually thought we were going to win that trade, just because it rejected so quickly off of that entry, but we just then got slammed down. So that one hurt for today, but there's going to be more. Just hoping that price action cooperates here and starts leaving us some clues in the marketplace. All right, guys, I'll see you guys. Look out for my video for the end of the week. Take care.